I just couldn't believe it when I first read about it. Does something like this even exist? Turns out, yes. Imagine a people who live in the 21st century, but as if they're still in the Stone Age, where it's not customary to wash with water, where red skin isn't a disease but a symbol of beauty, where a young girl can date several men at once to choose a husband. And this isn't fiction, not a movie, not a writer's fantasy. This is reality that shocks even the most seasoned travelers. You are definitely not ready for what you're about to hear. Today I'll tell you about a tribe that shook me to the core. This is the Himba tribe. One of the most closed-off, unusual, and astonishing peoples on Earth, still preserving customs that give you goosebumps. Many believe such things no longer exist. That all tribes have either vanished or completely adopted modern lifestyles. But no. In the deserts of northern Namibia, there's a people who still believe in the power of fire, in ancestral spirits, and in ancient rituals passed down from generation to generation. Do you want to know what a woman looks like who has never used soap? Who doesn't bathe in water, doesn't use perfume, but smells so unique that you'd want to stay close? You'd be surprised, but for them, avoiding water isn't a choice, it's part of their faith, their culture, their survival. In the desert, water is worth its weight in gold. So Himba women came up with a cleansing method no modern beauty blogger could ever imagine. They take smoke baths. Special aromatic plants, heat from the fire, a dense cloth. And the effect is like a sauna. Bacteria die, the skin is cleansed, and the scent remains strong, lasting, and special. And that's just the beginning. Did you know that in this tribe, a woman can have several husbands at once? Yes, it's possible. And no one judges. Because here, they don't believe in romantic love like in the movies. They value something else, clan unity, mutual obligations, and what's best for the whole community. Everything follows the rules of the ancestors. Also, if a guest comes into a hut, they may be offered not only food and shelter, but also the company of the wife. Without jealousy, without arguments. Because a guest is sacred. The more you honor the guest, the stronger your spirit. Shocking. That's just the tip of the iceberg. If you think girls there simply get married, you're wrong. It's much more complex. In their youth, every girl can date different men. It's not hidden. It's not considered shameful. On the contrary, it's believed that a girl should understand a man's character before the elders decide her fate. Only then comes the initiation ritual, special preparation for adult life. Imagine, before the wedding, the tribe's elder woman gathers the bride-to-be, rubs her body with a red paste made of ochre, fat, and ash, and whispers ancient advice in her ear. What to say to her husband. How to behave in the hut. How to be a wife. This is ancient knowledge passed from mother to daughter. But the most astonishing thing is their approach to children. Did you know that among the Himba there's no concept of my child? All children are considered shared. Every adult can feed, teach, and raise any child. And any child can turn to any adult for help. This is more than just family. It's a true living community, where everyone feels supported. Still watching? Then I have a request for you. Right now, hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications. It helps the channel grow and gives you access to incredible stories that you won't see on TV. And if you're already intrigued, give it a like, so I know I should make more content about the world's hidden peoples. And be sure to watch till the end, even more revelations are coming, ones guidebooks won't tell you about. Let's continue. The Himba are a people who speak not only with words, but with their hairstyles. Yes, you heard right. Each woman's hairstyle isn't just a style, it's a message. Young girls wear 2 braids. Teenagers, more complex styles. And unmarried women, hair covering their face. Once she's ready for marriage, the hair is styled away. Like a living social media status, but ancient and precise. And the men? A different story. Until a certain age, 1 braid. After marriage, the hairstyle changes. And it's all visible at a glance. No secrets. Everyone understands instantly. Now here's the moment that's hard to process. In this tribe, boys have their lower teeth knocked out. Around the age of 12. It's considered part of growing up. A sign that the child is no longer a child. Yes, it's painful. Yes, it's controversial. But for them, it's a symbol of connection with spirits and protection from evil. Surprising? Without a doubt. But judging? That's not our place. It's their path. Their world. And yes, they believe in the power of fire. Every family has its own sacred fire. It burns constantly. As long as the chief is alive, the flame stays lit. Once he dies, the fire is extinguished. And his hut is burned down. Because it's believed the spirit has left, and no one else should live there again. And what about wealth? Guess what's most valuable to the Himba? Cows. The more you have, the higher your status. And yes, brides are paid for with cows. A girl can be promised in marriage at the age of 8. Just an agreement. She's not taken away, just marked for the future. And cows are given for her. 4 or more, depending on age, beauty, and family. Western clothes. Only for men. Women wear traditional leather skirts. Their bodies coated in red paste. Jewelry made from shells, copper, bones. All handmade. No plastic. No gloss. But in this wild, primal beauty, real. And inside their huts, no furniture. They sleep on the ground. Everything made of clay, dung, and wood. But it's all made with soul. Cozy. Warm. They're kind of clean. Most importantly, made by hand. Nobody buys anything. Everyone builds their home themselves. And you know what's most surprising? They are happy. No phones, no internet, no likes. Sun, smoke, cows, traditions. Nature's sounds, fireside talks, dancing under the stars. They live close to nature. They live slowly. They live in a way we can hardly even imagine anymore. Now ask yourself. Maybe their way of life has something we're missing? But do you think that's all? Not even close. The most unusual thing is how they handle a world that presses in on them more and more each day. Civilization is getting closer. Paved roads now lead to their villages. Tourists arrive with cameras, plastic bottles, and money. And with money comes choice. To stay true to themselves or to change. Surprisingly, most Himba still choose the first option. They don't hide, they don't run, they're not ashamed of their way of life. They proudly show who they are through their traditions, their scents, their bodies, their language, their lifestyle. They live in harmony with what existed 1,000 years ago and, somehow, they don't lose themselves. But there are moments that shock even other Africans. One traveler told a story of being invited to a coming-of-age ceremony. He was allowed to witness what is usually hidden from outsiders. A girl, just 15 years old, was being prepared for her first ritual of womanhood. It was something sacred. She wasn't just dressed up, she was adorned like a goddess. Her skin was polished with ochre until it glowed a deep red. Her head was decorated with copper, feathers, and beads. She stood in the center of a circle while women sang ancient songs and elders called on the spirits. The whole ritual was so powerful it gave goosebumps. And do you know what was most striking? After the ritual, her status in the tribe changed immediately. From that moment, she was no longer seen as a child. She was now viewed as an adult woman, someone whose voice mattered in family decisions. And there are dozens of such ceremonies, for birth, for the first rain, for the hunt, for the changing of seasons. The Himba don't use calendars. They don't have clocks. But they follow the rhythm of nature, and they hear it better than anyone else. Want to know what else struck me to the core? It's their view on death. In our world, people whisper about death with fear and sadness. But the Himba treat it differently. When someone dies, it's not the end. It's a return to the origins. The spirit stays close. It watches, it listens. That's why they don't cry hysterically, they don't wear black or hold long funerals. They send the soul off with songs and rituals. And the hut where the person lived? No one ever sleeps there again. It's either burned or left empty forever. They believe the spirit will only rest once its hut disappears. And here's something else. Sometimes they begin talking to children. Before they're even born. As soon as a woman learns she's pregnant, she sits by the fire and sings to the baby growing inside her. Every day. It's not just a song. It's like a personal prayer, a spiritual bond. And that same song will be sung later when the child cries, gets sick, or grows up. The song stays with a person throughout life. It's like a sound print of their soul. Isn't that magical? And now you sit here, maybe in a warm apartment, with the internet and your phone nearby, watching this video. And somewhere out there, in the heart of Africa, someone is lighting a sacred fire, someone is rubbing ochre on their skin, someone is singing to their unborn child. It's the same world, but such different realities. And here's the question, who is really living life to the fullest? While we chase success, news, and numbers, they live in the moment. They feel the earth beneath their feet. They know their roots. They know the value of rain. They understand the meaning of family not from books, but from actions. And that's why I'm making this video. Because people like the Himba are disappearing. Quietly, without noise. One by one. Their children go to schools where they're ashamed to speak their own language. Their young men move to cities, where ochre is seen as dirt and a hut as poverty. And if we don't talk about them, one day they'll be gone. Without a trace. Without memory. So please, help me preserve this. Share this video. Leave a comment. Tell me what shocked you the most. And please, subscribe. It helps me tell you more stories like this, stories you won't hear on the news, but that truly matter. But here's the strangest part, despite their isolation, the outside world still found its way to the Himba. At first, it was just the occasional traveler. Then came the journalists. And now YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Local children already know what a camera is. Some even pose for photos. And the adults? They're not always happy with the attention. In some villages, solar panels have started to appear. Small panels, just enough to charge old phones. Yes, phones. Imagine this, a woman covered in ochre, wearing a leather skirt and copper jewelry. Checking the battery on her button phone. That's the reality. And this is where a dilemma begins, to evolve or to preserve. The Himba tribe stands on the edge. One foot in the ancient world, the other in the modern day. And every step forward risks losing their unique culture. Their language has never been written down. Their songs remain untranslated. Their wisdom lives only in the voices of the elders. And the elders are getting old. Recently, one of the tribe's respected elders said something that took my breath away. If our ochre disappears, if the fire dies out, if the songs go silent, we will no longer be Himba. We will be no one. These aren't just words. It's a cry for help. Because their land is being taken away. Yes. The land of the Himba isn't just territory. It's sacred ground. Every grain of sand carries someone's footsteps. Every stream is part of an ancient map. But now, developers are moving in. Tourist companies. Mining corporations. They don't see a culture, they see profit. And the Himba don't fight. They don't know how to write petitions. They've never heard of international rights. They just move deeper into the desert. They hide. They stay silent. But how long can they keep retreating? There are villages where concrete buildings are already rising. Where children are given supermarket clothes. Where ancient rituals are being replaced with photos taken by tourists. And then those photos are posted on social media with captions like, exotic, savages, African village style. People watch, and don't realize what they're really witnessing. Identity is fading. And that is the most terrifying loss of all. But there is hope. Some tribes have managed to preserve themselves through films, documentation, and the help of wise allies. And now, maybe, the Himba have a chance too. Because more and more people around the world are beginning to care about authentic cultures. More viewers are watching videos like this and asking, what can I do to help make sure this doesn't disappear? Sometimes, it's enough just to talk about it. Sometimes, to share their beauty, their wisdom, their courage. Because when you see how the Himba live, it changes how you see your own life. You stop complaining about weak Wi-Fi. You stop chasing trends and getting hypnotized by shop windows. You just start realizing how much you have and how little happiness it brings. And it's the opposite. They have almost nothing. But everything they do have is filled with meaning. Every day has its ritual. Every action, a story. Every word, wait. And now, I want to ask you the same question I was once asked when I first heard about this tribe. If you had to choose, would you live in a high-tech world full of stress and noise? Or live simply, but deeply connected to nature and people? What would you choose? Tell me in the comments. I'm truly curious to know what you think. And if preserving stories like this matters to you, don't forget to subscribe. Because in future episodes, I'll show you tribes that hide from satellites, speak only through gestures, and still refuse to accept electricity. And trust me, you've never heard anything like this before.